This is Opinions with Alex. I'm Alex.
I'm Christian.
I'm Jeevan.
And today we have a special guest.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
Today's episode will be about infanticide. Infanticide, by definition, is the killing of an infant. Well, in China, they have a bit of a... They have a sex selection, pretty much. They try to select the sex of their child because they can only have one child, and they would usually favor a male over the female. And so if a female was born, or if they found out it was a female before it was born, they would try to kill it so that their only child could end up being a male. So what's everyone's thought on this?
It's bad, dude.
I don't really mind. It doesn't really bother me because I'm not in China.
Well, yeah, same.
Yeah,
I don't live in China. What they do is kind of up. What they do is up to them, but I think it's wrong, but
I think
it doesn't.
It's wrong, but it doesn't bother me though.
Imagine how many Asian guys are going to be looking for like a girlfriend there, and there's like no girls there. That'd suck.
Remember, I thought...
Well, that's why a lot of them go overseas.
That's true.
Remember, their sympathy was lost.
Excuse me?
Never mind.
Something about sympathy was lost?
Yeah. You know, oh, babies are getting killed. Nah, I don't care. It's not happening to me. Oh.
Me, I still reckon it's wrong. But I don't actually...
We all think that, but in the end, it's not happening to us, so we can't really show the proper emotion for it, can you? So, what's everyone's thoughts on abortion? Does that count as infanticide?
Well, it's a branch of
definition.
Well, infanticide, isn't it when after the baby's born, then you kill it?
Well, it's a law like that, but you could consider it in a way because, oh well, it's unborn, but...
I think it's weird that like suddenly one day it can be considered abortion, and then as soon as it crosses over to 12 a.m. the next day, it's suddenly infanticide. And it's...
Abortion is when you kill it when it's not actually born yet. So how can infanticide be considered as abortion?
Some people put it... They
put it in the young. Because remember, infancy is 0 to 2 years of age. I mean, you get that between age, it counts as infancy. But after 3 years, it convinces as something else. But at this point, yeah.
Well, I reckon it's wrong because, it's killing an innocent life. I mean, why would you want to do that? And if you really did want to kill it, why would you kill it after it was born?
I think it's really that
the woman gets actually emotionally attached to the baby anyway, so it's kind of a stupid.
It's really the woman's choice.
If the woman's fucked up or not, they want to...
Yeah, the majority of the men who actually kill their babies or have an abortion, later on they regret it.
It's the choice of the parents.
No, it's the choice of the woman, man. The guy has no right over it.
Well, the man could try to talk his wife out of it, but it's the decision of the parents, or mostly the wife. But since it hasn't grown up, it hasn't doesn't have any social attachments, no relationships, no contribution to society. I know this sounds harsh, but it's the truth. It has had no contribution to society yet, no friends or anything. So it's at that just after it's born, it's really up to the decision of the mother and the parents.
Anyway, back in the day, there used to be child sacrifices, Yeah.
Oh, yep. I'm very familiar with that. I don't like when they say...
How would you be familiar with that?
They don't do that.
Jeevan, what do you mean you're familiar with that?
Have you
explained about it?
Have you sacrificed babies?
No, why would you...
Exactly. How can you be familiar with it?
Because I just know, people say that Satanists would do child sacrifice, but it's not actually true. They don't actually do it. But yeah.
Okay, here's a question: sacrificing a baby within a religion, which isn't connected to anyone outside the religion, is that counted as infanticide?
It could.
And is it morally wrong?
Well,
I mean, it is morally wrong, but
it's wrong either way. You're killing a baby. Why? What did the baby do to you? It's just lying there being cute. and then you just want to kill it. Why? Why are you so cruel?
Yeah, religions, yeah. They used to have some of those religions where they would probably offer babies to try to please one of their gods.
Their gods or whatever.
Whether or not you're following a religion or whatever the hell you follow, you don't. It's still considered as infanticide because it is killing a baby. Just saying.
But it depends if it's a part of tradition. If it's part of tradition, this would be different.
It doesn't matter if it's part of a tradition or not.
Okay, Jeevan, what if the religion, they have to sacrifice a baby, but as part of their sacrifice, it has to be a stranger's baby. So say there's people in, like, I don't know, let's just say New Zealand, and they're having like a little tribal meeting, and they're like, all right, let's find a random Australian baby and sacrifice it. And then they go to Australia. This is just hypothetical, okay?
Yeah.
And they go to Australia.
In New Zealand, you can't hit kids.
This is hypothetical. They go to Australia, and then they take a baby. They take it back to New Zealand, and then they sacrifice it. What are your thoughts on that, Jeevan?
Well, I think what they did is kind of wrong, but at the same time, it's okay because they're doing it for their rituals.
But why is that okay?
How's
it okay?
They took a baby. They like. It's understandable if they take like their own babies. Like it doesn't really affect anyone. But if they go to Australia, take a random stranger's baby. Like Jeevan, say they took your baby.
Well,
Wouldn't you be upset?
I don't know, to be honest. I would like be pissed off, but next day I'll be over it.
Alright, if my baby was stolen just because someone could follow their religion, I would be really upset. Very upset, because it's my freaking kid and I love that kid. And why would I even have that kid if it's not meant to live?
I found this article, and the title is "Killing Babies is No Different from Abortion," says experts. And they think parents should be allowed to have their newborn babies killed because they are, quote, morally irrelevant, and ending their lives is no different to abortion.
Abortion.
And that's what a group of medical ethicists have said, and the guys who said that are linked to Oxford University. What are your opinions on that?
The idiots.
You know what? You can sort of compare that because really they haven't had much to live for anyway. But yeah, obviously it's still wrong.
What do you mean the babies don't have much to live for?
They still haven't lived.
Yeah, but
still haven't lived
still.
long enough to develop any real sense of anything.
That's why you let them live. So
They have a point. They're like, because it's wrong, but they do have a point. Because in reality, they are morally irrelevant.
Well, no, they're not. They're alive. They're alive. We all used to be babies when we were little. Are you saying that your life was irrelevant when you were a kid?
Yes, it was. Before I grew up, it was. Because I didn't have contribution.
If you were killed as a baby, you wouldn't be the significant person you are now. Same with Aleks, same with Jeevan.
Humans are not the center of attention on this planet.
The universe does not revolve around us.
Yes.
A newborn baby hasn't contributed to society yet. It hasn't made new friends yet.
It will.
And if the mother and father don't want the child, then obviously it can't be. Well, if they say they change their mind after they give birth, they're like, oh, this is an ugly baby, we don't want it. So they're like.
For adoption.
I think it's hard to do that.
It's hard to do that.
That's what I said a few days ago, but you guys disagreed with me.
I don't remember that. I don't think I was a part of that conversation.
Okay, and to conclude, we all believe that infanticide to a degree is a wrong thing.
But in some
I think it is. Yeah, it is morally wrong, but it's ultimately the parents' decision.
Yeah.
Still wrong.
But you know, whether we think it's wrong or not, or whether they like, if they think it's wrong, but they're like, oh, we don't want this baby, blah 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 blah. Either way, they still get charged for infanticide, and you know, there's also social consequences with that, and they'll still suffer the consequences regardless of what we think of what they think.
Yeah, what Christian said is kind of like me as well.